Tonight's presidential debate will feature a mute button. Each candidate's microphone turned off for 2 minutes while the opponent speaks. Trevor Noah doesn't think it's going to work. He says Trump's just going to shout, or even worse, he'll just walk over to Biden and use his mic. He'll probably lick it too, just to mark his territory. Kimmel says, muting the mics, it's the same strategy my daughter's teacher uses for Zoom kindergarten. Fallon, meanwhile, Americans are like, don't worry. We've already been doing that for a long time. That's funny. Kimmel with a lame one. Biden and Trump will be muted, so this one doesn't turn into another senior citizen bum fights video. I don't know what happened to Kimmel, man. Kimmel, would a mute button even work on Donald Trump? I feel if you turn off his microphone, he'll just pull another one out of his hair or something. Not bad. Fallon, all this is good. And if the mute button doesn't work, Kristen Welker will have a water spritzer to spray the candidates. Kind of lame. Trevor Noah said the debate commission has announced they'll mute the person, which I think is a good idea as long as Jeffrey Toobin isn't in charge of the mute button. And apparently Twitter has decided if someone whips it out while you're on a Zoom call, #MeToobin. According to Seth Meyers, Bernie Sanders said, they're using microphones? Colbert, of course, Trump could just interrupt Biden by walking over to his podium, which is why the debate commission is also putting him on a leash. Colbert said, while we're at it, how about a fast forward button? Let's just zip straight to November 3rd. So obviously you listen to podcasts and you might be like, hey, why is there no Joe Rogan podcast this week? Well, here's why. Joe on Instagram said, young Jamie Vernon tested positive for COVID-19. I, Joe Rogan, tested negative and the rest of the staff tested negative, but we're shutting everything down until we get an all clear from our doctor. Rogan says, I was out of town last week and the shows that aired had all been previously recorded, so I haven't had any contact with Jamie in the past 9 days except for briefly today, but I'm staying away from everyone and being tested every day until I know I'm in the clear. I'll keep you folks posted as to when the show will resume. Rogan said, we may do some shows remotely and some shows with a substitute producer. I want to put a couple things on your radar just so you can plan your own life. Tomorrow, Friday, there are table reads by the surviving cast of Everybody Loves Raymond and many of the Seinfeld cast, minus one Jerry Seinfeld, but I'll tell you all the details on that tomorrow. Also, I didn't realize October 27th, Netflix, man, Sarah Cooper, Everything's Fine. A Sarah Cooper comedy special. We're going to get to watch this thing, and we're going to watch it. I can't look forward to that. From the Yale Daily News, your home for comedy news, the ever-so-serious Hari Kondabolu took part in a panel discussion titled Racial Animation, a conversation with Hari Kondabolu. Hari said, this is the golden age, I think, for people in marginalized communities to create art because Hollywood wants more stories. They're looking to buy stuff from that culture. He was asked why some comedians choose to lean into stereotypes. Kondabolu said performers often have to rely on stereotypes in order to play to their community, and he called out Russell Peters and Lily Singh. Very interesting there. Kondabolu added that because stand-up is local by nature, he can better relate to his audience as he accumulates life experiences that have made him thoughtful. It's very serious, Hari Kondabolu. Hey, I forgot to do this yesterday. I even teased it and then forgot to do it. Vulture is spotlighting the 20 comics that you have to know and will know. One of them, Sarah Cooper, Sarah, she finds Trump videos on whatever. They talked to Mary Beth Barone and they said, hey, Mary Beth Barone, when did you feel that you were funny enough to make a legitimate go at comedy? Mary Beth Barone told Vulture, after my first open mic at UCB, I knew this is what I should do. I'm still not sure if it was blind confidence or delusion. I just knew. I emailed my improv teacher a few weeks after the open mic. Asked a couple questions. One of them was, is pursuing a life of comedy a crazy idea? He replied, pursuing a life of comedy is a crazy idea, and then I did it anyway. They asked her to describe her comedy in 5 words. Her 5 words were dry, dark, deadpan, crop top. I kind of like that. And they asked her, what do you think you're best known for? And she said, I'd like to think it's my live show, Drag His Ass, a F-Boy treatment program. But in reality, it's probably a TikTok I did in April that went viral. Yeah, some of these comedians on this list did a TikTok that went viral and they're comedy superstars. I have a recommendation for you. It is in The Guardian. TheGuardian.com's article is called, Ay Caramba, I watched 50 hours of New Simpsons so you don't have to. Now, this article is epic. Again, I watched 50 hours of New Simpsons so you don't have to. It starts with season 15 and goes all the way through season 32. It's awesome. I recorded an episode about it that'll show up on some weekend down the road or on a holiday weekend when things are a little light. So I just recorded it and I banked it. I actually have 11 of those ready to go just in case I get sick or busy or whatever. But, someday you'll hear that. But in the meantime, you don't have to wait, months until I get around to it. Guardian.com, I watched 50 hours of New Simpsons so you don't have to. My friend Jamie Foxx, well, I don't know if we're friends, but, I have a cell phone number and we've worked together in the past. He's from The Hollywood Reporter. We are friendly, Jamie Foxx and I. He's reteaming with Netflix. This one is a comedy in which he plays a vampire hunter. Day Shift is described as Fox playing a hard-working blue-collar dad who wants to provide a good life for his quick-witted 8-year-old daughter, but his mundane San Fernando Valley pool cleaning job is a front for his real source of income, hunting and killing vampires. Jamie playing the father of an 8-year-old. He's starting to play down in age. He's born in 1967, so that makes him 53. A little bit of an older dad there, and Jamie looks great. So he'll be able to pull it off. You won't be like, that guy's not the father of an 8-year-old, but we're starting to stretch there a little. Jamie Foxx, my friend. Jenny Slate from The Hollywood Reporter. She revealed she's working on a, quote, big new movie idea. This one is inspired by 90s comedies. She says, I found myself really wanting to see a 90s style comedy, a full-fledged character comedy. That is nice. We'll see what winds up happening with that. And from CH.com, a local news anchor lost her job after making a costumed appearance in Adam Sandler's Netflix movie Hubie Halloween. See? Hubie Halloween is evil. The movie should have never been made. Now news anchors are losing their jobs. The former WHDH anchor Elena Pinto announced on Twitter she'd been fired for appearing in Hubie Halloween. Now, you might be thinking, oh, they obviously know she has terrible judgment. She's in an Adam Sandler movie. No, that's not why at all. She says, in doing so, I mistakenly violated my contract with the station, and I understand why management unfortunately chose to terminate me. She plays an anchor on Wake Up Boston, which is a fictional news show in the movie where she talks about Halloween celebrations in Salem. My personal opinion, I don't care what the contract says. Really, you're going to fire her for playing a news anchor in an Adam Sandler movie? Are you ridiculous? She thanked viewers, said she'll update people on the next chapter, and she says, the future is bright. That's your comedy news for today. Subscribe on Apple, follow on Spotify, and all the other places. See you tomorrow.